Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man. Welcome back to another episode of the monthly otaku collection for March 2019. The show that I do in like the middle of each month or just whenever, every month, where I go over some of the manga, the anime, the otaku merch, the otaku news that I didn't have time to cover in its own video as kind of a recap thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's already March, which is really scary. Like, I swear to God, and maybe it's because I'm just getting older every year, but every month, every passing month just seems to be going faster and faster than ever before. But without further ado, let's begin with the anime shit. Let's start off with the manga, as always. Now, there are a number of manga series that I kind of picked up this month. I actually bought a lot, but a lot of them were continuations of previous series that I already had. For example, I got a few more volumes of Berserk to catch up on the series. I got a few more volumes of JoJo because I'm trying to collect all those because I want to, you know, own all of them again. But as I keep snooping around for the older series or for the ongoing series that are developing every single week or month, I also picked up some new series which I'd like to show today. Now, there are 3 series that I want to show you, and I don't know if it's just coincidental that all of them kind of fall into the trash genre? I know that's not a real genre of manga, but the contents of these 3 manga aren't exactly the most sophisticated or intelligent pieces of manga that we've ever seen or I have ever introduced in the Monthly Otaku Collection. These 3 are 3 series that have a little bit of ecchi, have a little bit of romance, you know, the kind of ones that have cute girls in them for the sake of having cute girls. And you know, there's really nothing wrong with that. Like if you eat steak every day, sometimes you want a hamburger. And this first manga that I want to show you guys is a series that some of you may have heard. It became an anime quite a while ago, but I only just managed to pick up the manga recently. And it is this one right here, Mayoi Neko Overrun. Now, I believe Mayoi Neko Overrun is based off of a light novel series originally, but this is the manga adaptation. Now, one of the reasons why I decided to pick this up is, yes, I have seen the anime, and I have read the first couple of volumes of the light novel, but I didn't realize until I picked this up that this is done, or the art style, or the artwork is done by a Mr. Yabuki Kentaro Sensei, who, if you guys don't know, is one of my favorite manga artists of all time. Like, not in terms of like story writing, but just in terms of like art. I reckon there is no artist that can make and draw cute girls than Yabuki Kentaro Sensei can. Now, of course, I also love his manga. Like, I really enjoyed Tolabaru while I was going, and one of my favorite manga series of all time is Black Cat, his debut work. But I think it's because of the whole success of Tolabaru that Yabuki Kentaro started to get more offers to draw these more ecchi-centered stuff, because you gotta admit, Yabuki Kentaro's girls, they're fucking hot. I mean, even a tsundere bitch like Serino right here, who, you know, I'm not exactly huge into tsunderes and everything, but I mean, look at her. Fucking adorable, like, goddamn, man. And even some of the lolly characters and even like the cat girl chick who is like the main girl in this particular series are all just adorable. I mean, look at her. She's like such a normal ass looking character, and she is a normal character, to be honest. She's not all that exciting of a character in this particular series. Is adorable. She's cute. She's hot. And that's the one thing I love about Yabuki Kentaro's art style, is that it's trash, but it makes it justified with how adorable the girls are. Now, the story, for all of you who are wondering, is not that too exciting. The main character, who's not her, there's a boy, the harem leader, if you call it. You know, he owns a patisserie because he was adopted and he got picked up by a patisserie owner. He picks up, or his sister who owns the patisserie picks up a cat girl or a stray girl who happens to also look and act like a cat. And it's basically a cute, light-hearted story about him and all of these girls and all of these orphans essentially come together, these orphan friends coming together to try and make it through their daily life. Think of this series as a mix between Tolabaru and Nekopara. That's essentially what you're getting. If you love your Tolabaru, or you love your Yabuki Kentaro styled artwork, and you love games like Nekopara, because that also happens to be set in a patisserie, then there you go. That is the love child, Mayoi Neko Overrun. Now, this next series I picked up also only has 2 volumes so far, and I picked it up, I believe this series is kind of new, and is, unlike Mayoi Neko Overrun, was never adapted into an anime, or rather, I'd never heard of this series at all, but it just kind of looked interesting because I guess I have like a radar for certain trashy looking series, and that is this one right here. The series is called Mizuki Naphtali de gozaimasu ga, done by Kawahara Koi. Now, immediately you can see why I happen to pick up this particular series. Cute girl in pajamas, kind of white hair, little tsundere type look. Lovely. Now, if you thought that this was a bubbly, you know, light-hearted type of rom-com slice-of-life series, then it is, but with a little bit of a more adult twist, should I say. This main character is actually the wife to the main protagonist of this series. They are newlywed, and they just only married about a month ago, but there is one problem that is missing out of this newlywed's wives that usually regular newlyweds have no problems with, and that is sex? That's right, even though these two have been going out for a very, very long time and now they are a married couple, they haven't had the schmecks yet. And so this series involves the two newlyweds trying to figure out ways, in hilarious ways, to try and figure out why they can't have sex. Now, don't get me wrong, the husband wants to do the intercourse, as any good husband would with a kawaii waifu like this. But the problem is, the wife, this character right here, can't seem to get around the fact that her husband is hot as shit. And because he is so hot and so attractive looking, she gets too flustered to have sex with him. Logic. Like, could you imagine if that happened in real life? If your husband or wife was so attractive that you couldn't have sex with them? Like, isn't it usually the opposite? Now, again, much like my own overrun, the girl is fucking attractive. Like, look at that. Waifu material. And honestly, the art style is really nice. It's super simple. It kind of has, as you can see, a very simple slice of life look, but even just from the art style, you can tell it has a little bit of an adult twist to it. And the gags as well can sometimes be actually, like, genuinely hilarious. I did get a good couple of chuckles out of reading this particular manga. It's adorable and bubbly, so all of you slice of life lovers, all of you rom-com lovers, it doesn't have as much ecchi in it as the context of the situation would, you know, say otherwise. Like, even though it's about two couples, or a couple not being able to have sex even after being married, it doesn't actually show a whole lot of ecchi, which I actually appreciate quite a bit, because a setting like that is so easy to dive full into the ecchi territory, yet this manga decides to focus more on the pureness and the comedy aspect and the slice of life aspect of the problem at hand, rather than just the full frontal ecchi problem at hand. So yeah, if you do enjoy your little bit more adult-oriented stuff that doesn't involve so much with the sexual, explicit type of imagery, then Mizuki Naphtali de gozaimasu ga is definitely a manga for you. And the third and final manga is very much like the previous Mizuki Naphtali de gozaimasu ga series, except it doesn't so much involve the pureness of just a regular couple or regular people. This third and final manga, I feel, is kind of floating in between Mayoi Neko Overrun and Mizuki Naphtali de gozaimasu ga, in that it has the ecchi and kind of controversial context that Mayoi Neko Overrun has in terms of explicit imagery or explicit themes, but it also has the pureness and slice of life, the pure romantic elements of Mizuki Naphtali de gozaimasu ga, and that is this series right here. The title is AV 女優と AV 男優が同居する話. I know, long titles, so you can never get tired of them. Which roughly translates to when a porn actress and a porn actor live together. Great title. Now, weirdly enough, this title actually does make a lot of sense once you read the series. And when I say series, it's only one book. It's actually a collection of short stories involved around different types of people falling in love in different controversial ways. Now, obviously, as the title suggests, one of the main short story series in this book involves the female porn actor and the male porn actor living together. The female porn actress being this cute girl right here, who looks way too pure-hearted to be sucking 5 dicks at once. I don't know what kind of porn she's doing, but I'm guessing it's something like that, knowing that she's a Japanese porn actress. What's really interesting about this particular manga, though, is that the amount of explicit imagery and even the amount of explicit themes that were prevalent in this book is actually so much less than what I previously thought just by reading the title. Like, just by reading this title, you guys might be thinking, like, this is some, like, borderline hentai type of stuff. It's very much the opposite. You almost hardly ever see any explicit imagery. Like, I think there are only, like, maybe 2 frames where you see any kind of boobs or anything like that, which, for a title like this, I thought was very surprising. Now, again, it takes the very pure romance concept of controversial people in society, and not just, you know, porn actors and porn actresses, but there is also another short story here where there is a full-on, like, incest type of story where, like, a sister is really, really, like, deeply in love with her older brother, but the older brother doesn't want to accept it. I feel that the stories in this kind of have the same settings as potential hentai out there, but doesn't quite step into the hentai territory. And weirdly enough, the art style reminds me more of a shoujo manga than it does any kind of regular manga. Like, I honestly don't know whether to categorize this manga as a josei manga or a seinen manga, because it kind of has a little bit of a mixture of both. It looks like a josei manga, it looks like a shoujo manga, but it has the themes of, obviously, a shonen or a seinen manga, right? So it's kind of an interesting mix of both, to be honest. Like, I really enjoy this kind of bubbly shoujo manga styled art style, and, you know, it's really nice to have in a specific content like this. I don't know, this manga was interesting to me, not just because it's a mix of genres or it's a representation of a genre that you usually don't see being performed in this way, but because the short stories were honestly genuinely entertaining. Like, when I started to realize that, oh, it's definitely not going to go into that kind of ecchi territory, because I was fully expecting this manga to be trash like the other 2 manga that I showed in this video. Once I found out that, oh, it's not going to go in that direction, I was starting to get a little bit like, should I continue reading this? But after I actually read it, it was genuinely entertaining. I'm not going to say it was fucking amazing, but it definitely is worth a read, especially if you want to see something a little bit different in the romance, josei, seinen type of genre in manga. If you're into that type of stuff, check out AV Joy to AV Danyu ga Dokyo Suru Hanashi. It's a good little book. Again, only 1 volume because it's just a collection of short stories, so if you can get your hands on it, I definitely recommend it. But hey, maybe you're not into that kind of trashy, josei, ecchi type of trash manga series that are just there for the funs and laughs. Maybe you want to read something a little bit more sophisticated, something that's a little more to your taste. And luckily, for anyone of any taste of manga reading, there is Bookwalker to check out some great manga and light novels with. If you go to global.bookwalker.jp or click the link in the description below, you'll get access to a ton of digital English translated manga for good prices, even better sometimes than the prices that you get here in Japan. And if you use my coupon code TheAnimeMan, as written on the screen, you'll get $5 off your purchase, so you can save even more money on some great manga. Almost every month, Bookwalker is doing some kind of special event or campaign where they put some manga on sale, put some light novels on sale, you know, get some points back for you hardcore members out there. So if you want to check all of that stuff out and more, or the list of manga and light novel series that I personally recommend from Bookwalker, then the links to that is all in the description below, so go check it out. Now, usually at the end of every month of the Otaku Collection, I do a giveaway, but unfortunately this month, there will be no giveaway. We're gonna take a little bit of a break from the giveaway. Instead, we're gonna end this episode by showing you guys some really, really cool anime merch. Stuff that I don't think I've introduced to you guys quite yet. You guys already know that I am a huge collector of different types of anime stuff. I mean, you can just look behind me. There's a Shinobu body pillow in the background there, a whole shelf full of manga, and a whole shelf full of figurines, and a lot more outside of the camera that you can't see. But there is one more thing that I have recently been collecting, and that is anime vinyls. With the bring back of the whole vinyl culture in the last couple of years, anime is also riding that wave, and I happen to pick up some anime soundtrack vinyls, which I quickly want to show off to you guys. It's mainly 2 of them, and the first one here is of a soundtrack to one of my favorite, and what I believe to be one of the greatest anime films ever created, and that is, of course, Akira. When I found this at my local record shop, I screamed. I screamed like a little bitch. Because the Akira soundtrack is unlike anything ever. Like, if you guys have watched Akira, you guys will know how incredible that soundtrack is. Now, this is a double album, but the crazy thing about this double album is that there isn't really all that many tracks. Like, as you can see, each track or each side only has about 2 or 3 songs on each, and that's because the use of music in the movie Akira is so minimal and so drone and background based that sometimes when you're watching the movie, you don't even notice the music is playing. But just because you don't notice the music playing, it doesn't make it any more incredible. In fact, some of the tracks here on Akira are so one of a kind that even people who have never seen Akira immediately recognize this as something from Akira. This is brand new, unopened. I haven't actually listened to it yet, but I have listened to the Akira soundtrack so many times, so I cannot wait to chuck this on a record player and give it a good spin. And the second vinyl is of a soundtrack to an anime that I absolutely love. If you've been sticking around to this channel for a very long time, you'll know that it is one of my favorite anime series of all time, and the music that accompanies that series is so also incredible. And it is, of course, the Monogatari series. More specifically, this is the soundtrack to the first Kizumonogatari movie. Now, if you guys don't know, the Kizumonogatari movie, they were actually a collection of 3 movies. Kizumonogatari Reiketsuhen, Nekketsuhen, and Tekketsuhen. And this is of the first movie, Tekketsuhen. It is a 12-inch vinyl, again, unopened, as you can see. The back of it as well is also just as aesthetic and beautiful. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, Joey, you've got the one for the first movie, but what about the other 2? Well, fear not, kids, because I have both of those as well. You know your boy couldn't pass up having all 3 vinyls, all 3 movies on vinyl, because the soundtrack to the movie was also just fucking mind-blowing. Just as mind-blowing as the visuals and the storytelling, everything about those movies are just so incredibly done. Again, these are all unopened, and concerning this third one right here of the final movie of Reiketsuhen, I actually received this from a fan. I think it was about a year and a half ago. I was in Singapore for Anime AFA, and one of the people there who came to my signing gave me this. He just put it on the desk and said, here. And when he said here, I thought he wanted me to sign it, but he said, no, it's yours. You can have it because I know you love the Monogatari series so much. So if you are that one person who gave me this vinyl and you are watching this, thank you so goddamn much. This is so fucking cool. And honestly, getting this vinyl from that fan inspired me to start collecting anime vinyls, because now that I know there is an entirely large world out there of different anime vinyls, so now it's my mission to go out and try and look for anime vinyls of some of my favorite anime soundtracks. I don't know if I even want to open these. Like, as much as I want to listen to it and spin it, like, I kind of feel like these will be worth a lot if I just kept them unopened, so I don't know. I'm really debating as to whether I want to open these at all and give it a listen, but we'll see. Time will tell eventually. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this month's monthly otaku collection. Thank you once again for joining until the very end. I know, again, sorry that there was no giveaway this month. A lot of things were happening with my life, and I was getting really fucking busy traveling everywhere and doing all sorts of big projects this month, so all of that kind of stuff got lagged behind for the giveaway. But don't worry, if you stick around for next month, then I'm sure there will be an awesome figurine giveaway for all of you guys, so look forward to that. Let me know how your guys' March has been. Has it been good? Has it been bad? Let me know some of the cool anime, manga, figurines, and merch and stuff like that that you picked up for March 2019. And as always, if you want to support your boy, then the best place to do it is over on my Patreon, patreon.com/theanimeman. We have all sorts of cool rewards there, all sorts of cool fun over there that is exclusive only to that Patreon, so definitely go check it out if you're interested. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and favorite if you enjoy, subscribe for an banner, keep watching anime. Tanny!